Odinga is a good man, and we were very, very brutal with him, and we really, really, really hammered him. It has come to our knowledge that it was very unfair, because his crime was to tell us that, oh, Raila Odinga is a good man. And we said that Raila Odinga is a bad man, William Ruto is a good man. Now that President William Ruto has said Raila is a good man, that is why I apologize to Uhuru Kenyatta and his family. And I owed him an apology on behalf of the community. Because what he had told us is what the president has told us. We had no business fighting him. We had no business disrespecting him. We had no business humiliating him. Right. So myself and the community, Uhuru Kenyatta an apology. And I gave that apology on behalf of the community.
Okay.
And we said, we know, because that's what he had told us. And we were very unfair to him because,
knowing what you know today, would you have made a different decision if you knew that in 2022?
Well, you cannot talk backwards. I can't say what we would have done or not done. But things keeps on changing. Yeah, but now we are saying everybody is good.
You've said that once the king pronounces themselves, the pronouncement stands. Does that mean Uhuru Kenyatta is still the king of the mountain?
Oh, yes. You didn't know? Uhuru Kenyatta is very, very unfair. Sometime I really feel very bad that I was so brutal on a man who was my great friend, my confidant, my brother, my kinsman. I was so brutal on him. And his crime was only one, saying Raila is a good man. And then the man I said, we don't want Raila Odinga, we want William Ruto. Then he comes and says the same thing. I felt very stupid, In fact, another day, a very senior person abused me at the airport and called me stupid 5 times. And I looked at it, I was very bitter, but I looked at it later at night, and I thought probably he was right. I think I was stupid to fight my own brother, my kinsman, my confidant, for no good reason, for saying another person is a good man. I really regret what I did, and my community does regret, and we are very apologetic to the Kenyatta family. And what happens in my community is a saying that making a mistake is not bad, but repeating is unforgivable. And by the way, let me tell you some. From the experience of my community, myself and the leaders and the whole community fighting Uhuru Kenyatta, our son, a decision has been made by the community. In fact, it's a covenant. Never again shall the people of the mountain ever fight their own.
When was that decision made?
The people, the men, they just talk slowly. That has been agreed on. And that's why you find when a few leaders are being told to fight regarding Gachagua, they are finding it very difficult because a decision has already been made.
When?
That, like almost a year ago.
By who?
By the community.
In what forum?
Don't worry.
There are millions.
You don't know our people.
There are millions.
Our people don't talk in meetings. They have a way of communicating. That is how they drove the British out of this land, by communicating silently. There's a covenant among the Mount Kenya people. They will never again, ever be confused by anybody, be used by anybody to fight their own leader. They will never do it. And I also want to tell you, for the avoidance of doubt, for those who are trying to divide the Kikuyu, the Meru, and Embu, it's an exercise in futility. Those 3 are one. And finally, they will be one. And, we have seen these things happen during the Azimio campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You use a lot of money, you call meetings, you call MCAs, you call people in tents, you give them money, you persuade them, they take your money. Finally, they make a decision. And you see what they did in 2022. I can tell you, this attempt to divide the Kikuyu, the Embu, and the Meru is an exercise in futility. You can spend billions, you can spend money, you can have meetings, night meetings in hotels, in where, in what forums.
Okay.
But finally, the people of the mountain are one, and they'll never be divided, and they will not agree. They have made mistakes before, they will not repeat them.
Deputy President, on the 26th of June, 2024, you were in Mombasa, addressing a press conference shortly after the president had spoken, And you were questioning when the rain started beating the government of Kenya Kwanza, the administration of Kenya Kwanza. And you went out to attack Nurdin Haji, the Director General of the National Intelligence Service, accusing him that he should take responsibility of the Gen Z protest that led to what we saw at Parliament on June 25th. What was your role in those protests?
None. My statement in Mombasa is on record. I don't want to delve into it. I pronounced myself. I said what I thought of the situation. And that remains my truth. And anybody can challenge me otherwise. I don't want to delve into that statement because it was a public statement for consumption.
Do you stand with it?
I said what I said.
Do you stand with it?
Have I ever issued another statement countering that one?
You believe the National Intelligence Service is responsible for the protest?
I've said this, please allow me. I don't want to go into the merits and the demerits of that statement. The statement was crystal clear. It was in broad daylight. It is still there. You can interrogate it.
Why would you come out and make such a statement about an officer who sits in the National Security Council, yet you have access to the statement? And I believe you made it after thorough consideration, and you raised issues to the person of the Director General. You said he should resign. You still believe so?
I have said I talked to that day, Sam. Allow me to leave it there. I don't want to go into that matter.
Do you think that your tribulations have something to do with how you conducted yourself during that period?
I don't think so. They did not start then. I told you we just worked well for 1 year. And then all these games and schemes started. They had nothing to do with it. That was my own reading of the situation then. And I talked to the people of Kenya as an elected leader.
When is the last time you attended a meeting of the National Security Council?
Well, National Security Council meetings are top secret. I don't want
the details.
I don't want us to go into the details.
When is the last time you attended a meeting?
I think earlier this month. I think so.
Earlier this month. Was the NIS Director General in attendance?
Of course it was.
Have you patched up your differences?
No, I don't want to go into the details of the National Security Council. That's a top security organ in this country.
It is not about the National Security Council. I'm asking if you have patched up your relationship with him.
Did I say we have personal differences? I was giving an opinion.
An opinion?
Yeah, on that day.
But it's said as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I on record what I said. I made a public statement as an elected leader of what I thought of the situation.
What responsibility should the administration of Kenya Kwanza take in regard to the lives that have been lost in those protests?
Some I have said that matter, I addressed it comprehensively. Let the rest there.
I'm actually not talking about the statement. I'm talking about the killing of 60 people, at least 60, as reported by the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, KNCHR, which the government is yet to admit about the total number. The last, I think we heard from the president, about 40. By the way, how many people died in those protests?
You asked that question to the president. He's the chairman of the National Security Council. I don't know operational issues because I am not competent enough to address operational issues in the National Police Service.
You're the deputy president.
I am, but I don't comment on operational issues. I'm a very disciplined deputy president. I know my space.
You don't have information about how many people died?
I am not going to comment on operational issues with the National
That's
Police
not an
Service.
operational issue. It's a fact. It's a statement of fact.
It's an operational issue.
The cabinet, in different dispatches, indicated that
you would have to check with the minister who is responsible for the implementation of the cabinet decision. You see, once we have met in cabinet, every line minister takes the responsibility of implementing the cabinet decision. So I don't have the facts because I have not asked for that answer as to how far we have gone with the implementation. I would advise that you seek out the minister.
How important is that matter to you?
Very important.
But you have no information.
Yes, because I have not asked about it.
Why?
I have many things that I need to ask about every day. And when the time comes, we'll get a report.